Hello guys, welcome back in this new video. Today we'll see together how to get the tweets related to COVID-19 and finally create a pandas data frame that will contain all those tweets. So the first step will import the useful modules. Here is the TWEETS module. So I import TWEETS as TW and pandas as PD. I also import JSON. So the first step is to access the Twitter API. So you will need your Twitter developer credentials. And for this part, I made a separate video explaining how to get those credentials. You will find the link in the description of this video. So to make sure nobody else access those credentials but you, so I created a JSON file containing all the information. So the following function here called load credentials is used to load all the credentials in that JSON file. So the second step is to get the API. Once we have the credentials, we can now get the Twitter API. So with that API, we'll be able to retrieve all the tweets we want. So to get the API, I first give all the information about the credentials. So the Twitter API, auth handler function takes two parameters. The first one is the consumer key. The second one is the consumer secret. So once we have those information, we can now set the token giving two more parameters that are the access token and the access token secrets. And finally, we retrieve the API instance. Now let's run those cells. And now here I will load my credentials and create an API. Here I create an API. So after this first step, here comes the part of searching for the tweet. So at this stage, we already have the API, so we can start searching for tweets related to a topic. And so this is the function that performs this task. It takes in parameter three values. So the first one is the search word. In our case, it will be related to COVID-19. So the date sense is the date period we want to search the tweet from, and the limit, this is the maximum limit we want to take. We can change this value, whatever value we want. And with this function, we return the tweet cursor. So I will explain later what the tweet cursor is. So we execute the cells. And now let's say that we want to search. Let's create a new cell here. So let's say that we want to search for COVID-19, hashtag COVID-19 from October 1st. Okay, so I execute this cell. And now in the function above, we use the dot cursor. So here we can see the dot cursor here. This dot cursor search Twitter for tweets containing the term hashtag COVID-19. Okay, so we can restrict the number of tweets returned. The restriction is given by the limit here. And now let's see what that's return. So after executing this, create a new cell. So if I create a new cell, let's say I will call it here and COVID cursor. Let's see what the COVID cursor contains. So if you see here, it's c3pi.cursor item iterator. Okay, so this dot cursor return an object that you can iterate or loop over to access the data collected. Okay, in this cursor we can get all the data collected related to COVID-19, to hashtag COVID-19, and each item is the iterator. In the iterator has various attributes that you can access to get information. So we can have information like the text of the tweet, the person who posted the tweet, the dates the tweet was posted, and so on and so on. So let's see an example. Let's say that we want to get only the text of the tweet. From the text of the tweet, I can get those information from the following instruction. So I say for tweet in COVID cursor, because my instance is COVID cursor. So I will print the tweet.text. Here I will be printing only the text of a tweet. So I execute this. The output gives me all of the information. So I go from tweet number 1 to the end. So the first tweet is this. So we can have a text here with tweet number 2 all over to the last tweet number 20. So because I limit the number to 20, okay? So you can change the value by changing the parameter in the search tweet function. So after that, we have the text data. After having the text data, you as a data scientist, if you want to analyze this data, it might be interesting to have it in the form of DataFrame. So to do that, I create this function, create df from cursor. So this function takes the tweet cursor in parameter. So what I want as features, I want the date the tweet was posted, the person who tweeted the tweet, I mean the author, and then the Twitter name of that person, the text of a tweet, the number of likes that got the current tweet, and the number of retweet. And then what I do, I create a pandas data frame. Okay, after creating that pandas data frame, sometimes we can have some duplicate lines, so I remove those duplicate lines based on the text column, and finally return the data frame. So I execute this function, and now what I can do is to call the function. I mean, if I put everything together, I create a new instance COVID cursor. So search for tweet, search to the words date since, and I execute this one. Data frame, I can call the data frame here. I have a shape, so the shape here, after removing all the duplicate, I get 15 lines and 6 columns. So those 6 columns I can have, look at the shape of, I mean, the first 5 rows of a tweet. So this can be accessed by taking the head of the function. So the columns here are those I specified in my function here. So I have a date, the author, the Twitter name, the text, number of like, number of retweet. So those are the same information you can have here: date, author, Twitter name, the text of a tweet, the number of like, the number of retweet. So let's say that I want to access the first row, I mean the text of the first row. So what I can do is just type to that text, and the column is the text column, and then I want the first instance number 0. So I execute this, I can have now the corresponding text here. So that's all for this video. If you like it, feel free to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and stay notified for next videos where I will be performing some sentiment analysis using some different machine learning algorithms like BERT and so on and so on. So thank you, and see you in next video. Bye.